Hello, a good evening, and welcome everybody to the Swarez live stream. I say live in inverted commas because as you're watching this, my future self is in New York measuring up with a very important client on their 44,000 square foot brand new office space for the mother of all commissions. Good luck, Ed. I hope it's going well. Thank you very much. What was that? Anyhow, we've got a great video coming up for you this evening. We didn't want to disappoint you guys because I'm sure at 7:30 p.m. on a Wednesday you're expecting us for his live stream. So ta-da! We thought we'd do one almost live as I'm recording this a few days before. I won't be available on the chat, unfortunately. Even my future self probably won't be available because I'll have a tape measure in my hand videoing about 200 wall spaces. Anyway, that notwithstanding, what I can guarantee you is we're going to have a lot of fun with an experiment. That's right, folks. I am doing another experiment right now, and we'll find out about that in just a little while after 30 seconds of the intros. And we're back in the room. Well, folks, I hope that wherever you are on this wonderful planet of ours, you have pulled up a chair, grabbed a drink, and ready to be entertained for the next hour or so. Now, last week we did a pretty amazing monochrome. If you haven't seen that video, you can see that on the channel. Just pop and have a look at that when this video is over. I'll show you that in just a few minutes, so don't go away because that's come out absolutely amazingly well. I've got to turn the heater off and put the extractor on, so we'll go and do that now. And while I am generally just chatting away, let me talk to you about the lighting upgrade. You may or may not know, if you've seen last week's video, that we've got a new lighting system that we built. Come on, Ed, think. You can multitask, you can do this. There we go, let's get the extractor on. We've had a few teething problems when we walked in today, but so far, keep our fingers crossed, we're getting used to it now. And we should be able to give you, especially on the overhead camera, a much better view of what's going on. Less mirroring, less light reflection. And that's hopefully what we're going to see when I start painting on this canvas. Fabulous. Right, let me introduce you to said canvas. That's my segue between the two. We're using the aluminium tables at the moment. This is because the big New York project, hello to my future self again, is going to require these to be painted on. We are going to need a flat surface on which to paint canvases. And because all floors tend to have a little bit of movement and undulation and unevenness in them, the tables, which are perfectly flat, allow us to move and shift the feet so that we can get a dead level surface. That's what you see going on here, painted on this big one last week when we did the big monochrome. And if we switch over to Rome Cam, buongiorno. Rome Cam, we're just going to change the color of the lights so it gives you a slightly less warm feeling, just to compensate for the camera. This is what I painted on the super extreme black and white monochrome edition of the live stream. And after a couple of days now, it's really started to settle down. All the big super effects that we had in it have kind of kept themselves together. We've got all these beautiful elements of light and dark going on. We've fused that gorgeous copper into the painting. A huge amount of textures, lots of foreground, background stuff. That's how clever we are here with what we're doing. We've also got little elements of purple going in amongst the copper. They haven't stand on it. There's a little drop of lilac in the middle, and there hopefully you can see with the corner light how this gold, if I just go from one side to the other, really starts to flash. And that's the little secret that goes right the way through the middle of the painting. It's an absolute belter. I love that. Some gorgeous details. We'll show you more of that as the weeks go on. But that was monochrome evening, having fun with paint. That's the kind of thing we like to do here. Hope you enjoyed having a little look at that one. While we're on Romecam, let's go over to the bench because I want to show you the colours that we're going to be using on this particular painting. We've got some white, we've got some French blue, we've got tele magenta, we've got a small hybrid purple. Now, this is actually called royal purple, but I've mixed it with a tiny drop of cream, so just to lighten that up a little bit. We've got a gorgeous lilac going on. We're going to start off with the black. We've got some really thick gooey copper. I don't know if I'm going to be thinning that down or not, quite possibly. And then towards the end, look, we're probably going to put in a little drop of Piaggio green somewhere along the lines. It's a beautiful colour combo, that. There's one other I might stick in with it if I could yank it off the desk. There we go. Which is called water blue. I don't know why, because it looks green to me. And that could possibly go in as well. So lots of swirly, lots of small splashy, but unusually for me, we're going to have some brushes tonight. So there we go. Brushes are all out. Don't normally use those. What? You know that I always use alternative tools and whatever sort of comes to hand. But yeah, I'm going to have a go and take it steady, do some nice brush strokes. And what's interesting tonight, folks, is I've actually, so we put Roamcam back on its stand. Hopefully you can see that okay. What I've got is a very thinned down version of the paints. So I'm going to start on this, seeing as we're on this camera over here, I'm going to start down on this corner, and I'm going to start introducing sort of a nice kind of soft shape with a square edge. You'll see what I mean. Right, so if we're all ready, folks, that's the intro, that's all the domestics done. I think we'll do some painting. Shall we do it, mate? Shall we just do it?
Do it! Just do it! Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it! Make your dreams come true! Nothing is impossible! No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!
Okay, and of course, it wouldn't be a video or a broadcast without Alia in control, pressing all the buttons and making it happen. Let's say a big warm hello if you are on the chat and decide to want to say hello to him. Now, he probably won't be live on the day, but he certainly is here now. Do you want to come on and say hello, buddy?
Guten Tag. How is everybody today? Shall I do my Arnie? Come on, Ed. Do it. Just do it. Make your dreams come true. What are you waiting for?
Scary, isn't it? It's like having him in the same room. So I've deliberately wanted to just play with a much thinner version. I don't mind if this gets kind of washed out, because that's the kind of feel I want to get here. You know, let's just see what happens when we start to wash this out a little bit. So I got a approximate idea what I'm doing. I want to be fairly loose with the structure here. And I said experimental when we came in, and that's kind of where I want to go with it. Again, I see something in my brain. What I'm trying to do is translate it. And at the moment, I'm just figuring out how best to do that. So it's a bit on the fly, which is okay. Don't mind that. We're going to cover a lot of this up soon, but let's have a go. Not going to go all the way. Just trying to figure out what I've seen in my head. Is it possible to actually put it into something that I'd want to hang on my wall? And I guess that's what we're going to find out. Okay, finished. 40 grand, please. Oh, that one just never gets old, that one, does it? So, sorry, I got my bottom in the way. There we go, it's gone to Roamcam. Now, the beauty of thinning paint down and applying it is it has a much, especially where the layers are quite thin, it has an accelerated drying time. So by the time I've literally put this on and chosen my next colour, things like the circle I'm on at the moment are drying. So what's going to be interesting is to see the ingress points at which paint either blends or doesn't blend together, if that makes sense. So we do have different qualities. The more kind of you tend to move things around a little bit, making sure my edges are covered. Edges are important because they're what goes around the frame. Maybe just changing the hue of the lights a little bit. So, not too bad. We're quite dense over in this corner, but that's good. Dense is always good, because I'm going to be putting paint over the top of this. It almost feels a bit like sort of, you know, a kid's book that's been sort of done in inks and watercolours. And actually the whole kind of watercolour idea is something I've got in my head that having done probably only one or two in 14 years, what I'd call really thinned out paintings. I've actually always been really happy with them each on the sort of 2 or 3 occasions I've done them. By thinning the paint right down really does kind of change the effect and the quality of everything. Not the quality, sorry, the effect and the look of everything, I should say. So the paint is still awesome. Some upward movement going here. I'll just do this all day long, I'll be quite happy with that. Anywho, right. Let's grab ourselves another colour. Okay. What do I do with the black that's down there? Let's keep the brush and the black for when I next need it. Now, oh gosh, we went on the floor. Now I'm thinking I might do some purple. This is this kind of hybrid I was talking about. I've got it into 2 cups because I might do something else with the other cup. So I'm just trying to think for a second where I attack this next. Okay. Come on, I think. I'm going... No, not the purple. We're going in with the lilacs. Okay, mind change. We're still going to come around here, right? So let me have a little drizzle. Let's see what gives. Are we still overhead, are we, buddy? That's fine, yeah. We're going to get mixes and stuff going in. It's going to be interesting. Much more of a blending kind of technique. See how subtle the colours are, can't you, compared to what normally goes down. It's fine, I'd rather put less on to start with, and then we can build up and see what happens. Yes, we've got to drop more on now. A bit of an unusual direction for me. Normally I'm sort of all guns blazing, but as I said at the start, I wanted to try a few different things today. Right, let's get that flicked over here. Yeah, I like that. That's fine. In fact, I think we'll do a couple of those. Then we'll think about the purple. Yeah, nice. You can just stay there for now. Cool. I'm just going to turn 80 up in my ears. No. Say again?
Oh no.
That's better. Right, I can hear you now. It's just a bit quiet. Okay, so brush, that's fine. Let's go in with the purple then, folks.
What do you mean? I'm always quiet.
Yeah. Okay. And we'll mix a little drop of the magenta with that. But I'm going to use the black brush with it. So I'm going to take small remnants of the black. That's going to sort of filter into here. There you go, look, as I press harder, that's fine because I want to bring those out towards the edges a little bit. Now have a think about what I'm going to do with any negative space that comes along. Do I want it? Do I not want it? Bear in mind this is going on to canvas which has just got a primer on it, that's all. There's no skim coat or anything else on it. So I might want to leave some gaps somewhere. Trying to feel now what's going on in the brush. Yep. Okay, that's fine. And you can see with the light reflections how much this is starting to go off already. I think by the time I finish doing this, I mean the actual painting, probably 70% of it will be dry enough to move. Yeah, for the physicists amongst you, I'm thinning down with the thinnest the amount of volumetric surface area exposed to the paint. Of course, the air is able to penetrate a lot quicker, and therefore it's accelerating the curing process with the air. And the thicker the paint goes, the longer it takes to dry, ergo thinner, shorter. I'm going to keep those pools up in the corner, quite like that. Okay. Let's get some blue in. Now, controversially, there we go, right through the centre. And I'll put some white in as well. And there's the all camera shot. White's a little bit thicker. There we go. So just because we've got blue on now, just change the lighting a little bit to reflect that. No pun intended. Small lighting change there. There we go, so we'll change that back now. We're back onto one of the different cameras. This is the beauty of the light system. We can do this kind of thing. So it should hopefully look fairly seamless as we're learning how to use them. Please do let us know in the comments, obviously. Give us your feedback on the lighting, especially if you saw the last broadcast. I'd love to know what you thought of that. Right, so we're going to do a bit of zooming on the overhead now. Show you a bit more about what's going on. Okay, I think that's a good, nice slow pan shot you've got there. Like the centre, like the middle, like the bit over there. It's good. So what I'm going to do, I'm bring the black, kind of fuse it a bit more over here. I want to try and swoop it kind of up here a little bit. Let's get a line in there. That's nice. Less is definitely more. Be careful how much goes on at the moment. There's going to be plenty more going on. Good. Right, okay, let's think a second. I'm going to bring out the Piaggio just yet. I think we'll grab ourselves a drop more white. There are some other colours I want to introduce. Now, let's see if we can lighten this up. Okay, well, that just settled for a minute. So that's brushes. Tempted just to get the little grout spreader, just to kind of dig in and move some of that around a little bit. And I'm going to start over here. Don't mind if there's canvas showing. Let's see if I can... Oh yeah, that's quite nice. Let's get one over there. Nice. Let's send some backwards. Now you see, can't you, the little pools that I left of the other colours. It's really starting to play now, because suddenly the white that I came out with, I've now diffused it by going back the other way with some of the other colours. So that is that's quite nice. That, and I like the shapes that's producing very much. So let's have a think a second. Okay, I actually really like the white down here as well, but that needs a little help. So let's pull that where it needs to go. Grout spreader, fantastic tool. You can't do without it. I think it's become one of my favourite go-to tools for manipulating and moving. Great movement, sort of sense of that coming out now. We can now work a little bit more on the lilac. So I'm going to resort now to a shot glass, because I want to control the quantities. Hopefully you're getting a good view of that white splash where the blue's poking through. That overhead shot really starting to pay dividends. Okay, so when Adie's come back from that, I'm just going to figure out where I'm going to feature the lilac next. Yeah, so I think what we'll do, buddy, where you're looking at it now, we're going to kind of go from the halfway line up towards the bench, so top sort of right hand segment, and I'm going to put we'll have a little curl of lilac going over here, I think. So you tell me when you're ready. Yeah, so something around here I'm going to try and do. Yeah, I'm going to kind of come from this way and loop it. Well, it doesn't matter if it's dropping on. So we good with that? Okay, well, it's dripping already, but that's fine. Okay, that's nice. That's a good one. I'll let that do its thing, and then I think I'll oppose one around the black, because we've kind of got this area anyway. Now you see that already starting to lose itself, and it will do, because it's now having all the interaction with the colours underneath, which is exactly what I wanted. Very important that, because we've got paint on already, and because this is thin, this is the kind of thing that's going to happen. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. Like this is good. I'll get back on with the brush shortly, but I just want to kind of define one or two of these areas at the moment. Right, can you see that? Okay, all right, let's have a go with that then, folks. So again, the black's going to start to get kind of eaten up now. I'm going to work with a brush on the lilac. It's not my favourite thing at the moment. Like I said, it's experiment. So I've got to give myself opportunity to got things wrong as well as celebrating the things that are going right. Let's pat this away. Not a fan, doesn't mind if it goes a bit grey. I'm going to cover most of this up in a minute anyway. There we go. I mean, there are no rules on this occasion. It is, what are we doing? Let's just go for it and react accordingly. And this is how we're going to build things up. And the good thing is I can play with colour on top of colour. I'm not really worried too much because I know it's going to dry fairly quickly. Let's go back to where we just were. Let's get some pink on. We're going to go have a little throw. Were you okay with the shot, buddy? That's good. Okay, let's give ourselves a moment for that to sort itself out. So I might grab a brush now and see if I can drag that somewhere. Pink's going to do some quite interesting things now. Right, so time to bring in some other colours, I think. Now then, I'm not worried about the canvas wrinkling. I'd rather it just go completely nuts and do its own thing. There's always something that happens when I'm using very thin paint. The effect of thinners on basically a fabric, it's very liquid. This is what's going to happen. So we'll get some of this out. Do a little mix of it. This one's not going to be too heavy, so fairly light, a lot of thinners in this one, not as much perhaps as the others. And I'm tempted to put something secret into this. Let me get AD on the line. So rather than special sauce it, I'm thinking I might, just for giggles, mate, take one of the chemicals and try and get it in.
Okay. Well, like you said, it's experimental. Push the boundaries. That's what we do.
Right, in that case then, I'm going in with this, which is a secret, which I'm not telling you about.
Secret.
Hideously expensive.
Shh. Shh. Secret.
Okay, so before this disintegrates, got to figure out where this is going. So I think, mate, we'll go... Yeah, I think I'll go on then.
Are you going for a throw?
It's going to be a low-level sort of throw, yeah.
A low-level throw.
Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is actually go this way. That's if I can get it over the top. Maybe just catch the pink and go over that way, all right? So
okay,
I'm going to go
2
that.
seconds. Let me just get the shot. Okay.
Ready?
Let's see what happens.
Now, what's going to happen with that? Is it going to get eaten alive? Let's see, shall we? So, While he's got that, I'm going to put a black through as well. So stay on the shot, mate, and see what happens now. Right, so that's fine. Adie's said something rather interesting in my ears, which I can't repeat because it's a family show, but I think he was quite pleased with the way that looked. Alrighty then, so I'm going to come back through and we're going to loop some black round, okay? So here we go. I'm staying professional here. He liked that as well. We're going to do another couple of those, buddy. So stay on the shot. I'm going to go the other. Am I going to go the other way? Let me just figure this out. Yeah, okay. Ready? Okay, so far so good. Right amount of blue. All the other colours looking good. I've got to have a little movement round here now. That centre is doing all kinds of weird and wonderful things, which I'm sure you've got on the shot. I am rather liking this a lot. This is a good direction. And I like what's happening to the white very much so. So I'm going to keep using the shot. Just before we roam cam it, I want to get one of these whites on. So you tell me where the shot is at the moment, mate, and I'm going to put some white straight through it. Okay. I'm going to follow this of the black. So I'm going to come back through the center and loop round with the white. And see how we go from there, all right? Right, practice first. Nice. Okay, pretty pleased with that.
Nice.
And probably need to do the same on the other side. So I can see a black, and then we'll do a roam cam, let it settle down a bit, because it might be all subject to change. So I think I'm going to sort of do this again and come back through. Let's see where we go with that. You tell me when you're ready. Happy? Okay, that's good. So just give me a second, folks. I will give you a look on roam cam so you can see all the pretty incredible things going on here. Right, okay, let's go roam cam then, mate. Right, let's have a look. I mean, it's all going on. How about that? Let's move over to where the pink is. Pink is really looking gorgeous all the way through the middle. And then look, we pick up on all these incredible things going on. There's only one extra chemical in this, which I can't tell you what it is, but it went into the green. Of course, you've got to bear in mind all the other things that are going to happen with that on there as well. And we've got our rivers flowing. We've got high and low points. Okay. As we come over here, I mean, all kinds of weird and wonderful shapes are starting to appear. And you look at that, almost frond-like activity going on in that green. It's almost like coral, isn't it? Let's pull out and come around the other side. starting to define where we came in. Look, the space portal. As we start to move around, we've done all of this is very thinned out paint, and you can see, can't you, just the difference we get on the canvas when we thin the paint out. It is a whole different ball game, folks. It really is. You know, we came in with the brush, the loose brush stroke to form an L shape, and we've constructed this around it. And the benefit actually of having a flat table, look, it hasn't all disappeared off. It's naturally, with its own wrinkling as the thinners takes hold, is going to start to move and shape. But look, we've defined the center, we've defined two halves really quite well at the moment. There is a little bit of movement, but I'm not too worried about that. That's rather pleasant, considering we're experimenting here. That's the important thing, isn't it, folks? You know, I just wanted to have a chance just to do something that I haven't done for a while. So I think all that's left really is I'd like to maybe bring a curve here, and maybe one out to the end, because that kind of feels how it's all sort of cascading this way. Loving that little kind of porthole you can almost step into. That's looking really nice there. We just fall into that where the sky is. That's what that looks like to me. So whilst I don't want to replicate that up at the top, I think maybe some copper or gold wisps now through the center and off could look really cool. And because those won't be thinned, they might stand a chance of holding their own integrity. So I think that's what we'll do next. I'll probably hear you all shouting on the chat and the comments. Stop! Of course, that's the thing, isn't it? Do I leave it there? Do I try one seam of maybe copper just through the center? I don't know. I mean, it's pretty stunning as it is. Something a little bit different for you. Let's pop down on Rome Camp. Right, come on the line, mate, and share your thoughts. Let's get Amy back on and see what he thinks, because he can see a different shot to me.
Looking pretty good to me.
While you talk, mate, I'm just going to take some water on board.
Absolutely, yeah. That's looking pretty spectacular. Whether or not you can float some gold on the top, not sure about the copper. It's a tricky one, because we know the copper is very, very dense, very thick, what that's going to do. But you're the maestro. You might see something I can't.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I mean, from this angle here, that is completely wowing me. I love that. The question is do I just weave a seam through the center or not? Or is that then going to start to take away from some of the other things I've got going on? Does he need one more color, like a red or something completely nuts? I don't think it does, actually, because then I stand the chance of just actually ruining the actual color palette. You know, folks, I'll be honest with you, as far as abstracts go, when you hear that guy? when I write about the paintings on the website, I have to try and deconstruct everything, but it's also an opportunity to talk about what goes on and why things go on the way they do. And I often talk about either overworking or letting things sort of be as they are, but one of the important things is well, there are two, and that's the forms and the colors. Now, sometimes if the forms don't work, the colors do, and that kind of steps over it doesn't feel right bit, because the colors are spot on. So you can have the most perfect forms, but if the colors aren't speaking or don't work together, then it's very difficult to accept the painting. So both of those have to work. At the moment, the forms look pretty stunning with the way they're going in and out. The fact we used very thin paint to begin with, you've got a little porthole you can step through, and all the million and one other things going on. So I kind of like that. I also like the color balance that we've got. This combination is an absolute, it's a winner, and it's a classic. And as far as colors go, it doesn't need any more. I have to question in my head now is would a copper or a gold seam, would it look decent? Where would it go, and what's it going to look like? I'm leaning towards the gold because it's got a much richer metallic element to it. But is the gold going to take away from it? And if the gold goes in, and especially if it went through the center, where does it terminate, and is it just going to sink like a stone?
So, quick question here. Mm-hmm. What I saw on the overhead and what everybody else saw was that incredible suction of the paints and then the dissipation. So would the copper, if it was put through the middle, would that just sit? Do you think that would dissipate if you would put it on?
No, I think it wouldn't do anything. because the copper's a different manufacturer, it's not going to react to what's gone into there. So if anything, it's just going to be a shape holder. It is and I wouldn't expect it to do anything. The gold might move a little bit.
So, as an experiment then, could you get a little shot glass full, put our special chemical in with it, and see what it does if it reacts in the shot glass?
Which chemical? The one I put in? Okay, well, I've already got some.
Yes.
The copper or the gold?
Copper.
Just done it. Right, so I'll come up to PTZ. And let's have a look, because it doesn't look as if that is just floating on the top. Let's see if you can get the shot of that. So that's what AD suggested. Look, if you can just see it floating on the top, so it's not actually doing anything. No. I'm going to stir it now. That was just on the top to see if it started doing what we would expect it to do, which I can't talk about.
Give it a stir. See what happens. Yeah, that's it. Push it around. Poke it around. Do it. Come on.
No, if anything, it's emulsifying it.
Right. So, put that on the corner of the canvas somewhere and see what it does.
Right, which corner can I afford to do it on? Let's do it here. So look, it just kind of stays there. So I suspect when it hits that, it'll just, no, I don't think that's right, because immediately it doesn't. It just doesn't, it's not floating my boat. See, look, I mean, that's what you get. It's great if that's what kind of thing we were doing, but we're not, are we? This one. I'll get some black and just hover over that. And it just disappeared in my ears now, so I've got to figure out whether that's my battery just gone or not. Give me a second, folks, while I deal with this. Oh, he's back again. No, he's back. Yeah, never notice. Okay. Right. So that's that dealt with. Oh, if only I could hear your comments right now. Well, look how things are changing. Actually, what's interesting is where we did that black line, we've actually got things kind of moving, haven't we? Here's my thought. Rather than adding any paint, maybe it doesn't need it now, is just maybe to move this round a little bit. So I think that's probably the only thing I'll do. Up here is amazing, looks like the sky and vapor trails and some great things going on over here, which is terrific. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely insane. That doesn't need anything doing with it. The only thing I might do is just take this kind of fire-breathing dragon of pink and move it around here a little bit, rather than it sort of coming down here. But actually from here, yeah, do you know what? I don't think it needs any gold. I don't think it needs anything else, actually, to be fair. But yeah, I might just, this is the bit I'm talking about. Could I bring that round here? I mean, it's a tricky one, or do I leave it? In many ways, I quite like just having that mass. And I suppose we've got a mass, haven't we, of it's almost like a backbone appearing, where the green, the Piaggio green, has kind of met the more subtle sort of grey blacky tones. If I move that magenta from there, I'm kind of letting that take over a little bit. Maybe I'll just leave it now. Yeah, the age-old problem, when is it done? I mean, when is it ever done? Oh, but you're all screaming at me to leave it now. I can almost hear choruses of you saying, no, you mad fool. Or telling me that I should definitely put the gold on because the gold looks ace. Here's the kicker though with that. I mean, yeah, the gold just go. We've ruled out copper definitely, but the gold, that seam through the middle, just not sure. Where would I start? Where would I terminate? And do I want that then to be the only bit that you see because the gold didn't feature anywhere else? Right now, you see, I can see where everything is. These are the constant battles I have to have in my head. And actually, I'm not worried about that center. The center can do what it wants. I don't mind if it moves, doesn't move, whatever. I like that. The only question myself is does that need a little drop of white through the middle? Probably will get swallowed, mate, yeah, but this has also had a little chance to dry. However, if I add more white to that, does it make it all then flow a bit more, and does the white then sink down, which of course it will. Yeah, you're right. I'm just going to put a tiny... Which camera, mate? All right. I think maybe just kind of here, I'm just going to drop a few drops in. Because the other thing is I could put a drop of copper in from the can. A few blobs of copper. That might look quite nice, just through the center, a little bit of mirroring. Yeah, so I got a tiny bit here, so all I'm going to do is just do a little swoop, all right? And it's going to go through here. You got that? All right, let's see how we get on with that. Make a break time, guys. Crazy, isn't it? Right, okay, so that answers my question then, yeah. So yeah, you can see how it disappeared. So that's that. I think I've answered my question. It doesn't need any more paint going into that. We need to just let that do its own thing, I think. But interesting. I mean, it has given another something to it, which I quite like. So that's interesting. Let me give you a look on that. Right, so that's given weight, unfortunately, to something else I need to do. Right, just bear with me, folks. I need to even up that white at the bottom, which is fine. Just need a tiny drop. And it is just a tiny drop. Right, going back to the bottom left. Right, yeah, it is. Right, so I need to get rid of that. Right, 2 seconds, everyone. This white didn't go where I wanted it. That's fine. I can deal with that. Just give me a second. Better just diffuse that a little bit. Okay. Yeah, got it. Yeah, gotcha. Just trying to get the camera over to where we need it. Yeah. So just got a white line to have to deal with. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So kind of like that, isn't it? I need to... Yeah, okay. Eddie and I just talking to ourselves. Right, on the table we go. We're going to have to get into this. Okay. Okay, got it, yeah. Right, I'm leaving that. Let's just have a glance around. We'll give you a look on Rome Cam in just a second, folks. Crucial part. Got to think to myself now, are we there? Are we not there? It's really quite dramatic. Things really starting to happen over on this side, where the Piaggio green is meeting the white, is meeting the magenta, is meeting everything. We've got our step into the unknown here. We're almost like an ovum, which I really like. And then we go off into the yeah, I'm liking that. Right, let's give you a look on Rome Cam then, everybody. Okay, yeah, this is what I was referring to. Look at that. Here we go. Look, it's off on its holidays. How deep can you go? Wowzers. Oh, what, the Rome Cam? Okay, Rome Cam frozen. Right, okay. We've lost camera signal. Sorry about that, folks. Don't know why. Oh yeah, there's the red button. Right, it's green again now, buddy. There we go. Let's see if I can show you what is going on out here, because there is so much to look at. So despite the fact we're not live, we are still live. There is no pause, there is no break, there is no editing. We are as raw, visceral, and live as it can be. We don't believe in doing anything that compromises real life here. It's not all the polish that you see on Instagram and YouTube. We are pushing back the frontiers of real. Let's give you some proper art realness today. Please give us credit for that, even if you don't like the painting.
Yeah, we don't own Lamborghinis and big mansions. We are but humble guys.
Yeah, so down here, look, where I've just finished off with the black, I actually really like that. That's become a real focal point. So very happy with that. We delineated the white line that wasn't too good, but actually it's now brought us a much stronger focal point there, where the ovum shape is kind of going on. All this beautiful cloud-like structure of magenta going all the way through the center, and then we start to hit all the other colors as this beautiful seam comes right through the middle. It's like a galactic octopus, isn't it? And then let's see, look, we've got all the fronds coming out this way, kind of bringing the color and bringing your eye down. Absolutely love that. Let's look at the blue. Well, actually, no. Let's start here at the end of the Piaggio green and follow the line round, and then all of a sudden, look. Oh, hello. Now look what's happened there. That's interesting. That one single chemical I put in is doing some quite incredible things here. That center line is absolutely gorgeous. If I angle, you can see where the textural points are. Now the reflection comes into play for our advantage. Let's move over to purple and blue, making some really strong rivers and colours. But it's the way that they blend and fuse together. It's what you get with enamel paint. That's seldomly found in almost any other medium. Is why I continue to persevere and use it. We've got these three fronds coming out, and that's where the canvas has decided to find high and low points, as the sheer weight and volume of physical liquid in the form of thinners has hit it. And actually it's one of the organic things that I really like about doing it onto bare canvas, is that's a bit of an unknown. It's something you don't really control, and I like that. There you go, as a static shot. If that was going hanging portrait just like that in a stairwell, I think you'd rather take notice of that. How beautiful you can get an overhead light on that, something like a window velux or something like that. Let's get stood up on the table. And that's what we've just done, folks, using not very much paint at all. Haha, I found a way to make it go a bit further. And there we have it, folks. Adie's going to give you the money shots on the overhead now. Do some zooming and some panning up and down. You really get to enjoy some of the unique features of this particular technique, now that we're using paint which is a lot thinner, as I said, than it normally is, which is very encouraging. I've been wanting to do this for a while, not just because I'm a miser and I'm trying to save paint. You guys know, if you watch the channel regularly, one thing I'm never scrimping on is the volume of paint that I use. But we do get a different kind of painting. That's the thing. We've got a different style. We've got something we wouldn't normally do. It's a little bit different. I wanted to take this opportunity, not just being able to film you guys a video, but actually give myself a little bit of time to have a practice and a play. I've been trialing this with a few recently. Not quite got to a point that I was completely okay with, but it seems to be morphing more into the direction I would hope it would go into, and certainly very much in keeping with all things Swarez here, which I'm very happy with. Some of the pan shots now I can see that you're getting must be looking pretty hot. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this looks when I come back from New York. It's definitely got some gravity to it, hasn't it? I think you'll agree. Something a little bit different, but still uniquely belongs in the stable of Swarez, which I really like as well. I definitely think this technique has got some legs, and I hope we'll be able to do something like this for the New York Commission. You'll be able to follow all that progress on the channel, because I dare say the vast majority of that is going to get filmed. If not on a live stream, we're certainly going to put them out as videos. But I think for this session anyway, we're going to let this settle down, sort itself out. I mean, it could be I return back to it and we have another go back over the top, but I think certainly for this session we've got something rather interesting. It looks very nice there, and I would not be at all unhappy to hang that on a wall in my house with my blue sofa. I think that would go rather well. I'd have to go cushion shopping though. Anywho, what do we think of that, folks? Please do let us know in the chat if you're joining in on the chat, and also do let us know in the comments if you're watching this video on catch up, not when it's scheduled as a premiere. Because when we do that, you all get opportunity to join in on the chat. So let's get the full shot now on the overhead. Looking very nice, very pleased with that. Things are changing constantly, even in this few minutes we're talking. It's definitely a very, very interesting piece, that I like that. And I think I need to go and investigate this thinning of paint and using some, certainly in the early stages, the brushes anyway. I probably want to use more brushes as time goes on, but for now, good learning curve for me. I'm enjoying that. Right, okay, buddy. Well, what do we think of that then, folks? Here we go, start to finish in about an hour. I rather like that. I think that's pretty good. I hope you've enjoyed that as well. If you're new to the channel and have caught this video when it's come out and published, or even at some point afterwards, please do give us a nice big thumbs up. That would be awesome. And remember to share and subscribe. If you haven't done so already, we're hurtling towards 100,000 subscribers. When we do, folks, trust me, we're going to do the mother of all giveaways, and you really do want to be here for that. So if you think someone else that you know would like to come and join us on the channel and be part of our Swarez family, send them the link to this video, get them on board, get them subbed, and you never know, at 100,000 subs, you might just be in for a very, very special treat. Anyway, for now, and for me being my future self out in New York, hope you're doing all right, mate. Are you? Good. That's it from the Swarez studio. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Can't wait to post some pictures of this little beauty out onto social media in the weeks to come, so please keep your eyes and ears open for that. Just leaves me to say a big thank you to AD out in control for putting the broadcast together. We hope you can join us on the 21st of March, I believe it is, 18, 19, 20th of March. Is it 20th? 20th. For the next live broadcast. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you very soon, folks. We're out of here for now. Take care, and we'll see you soon.